let's welcome our next fighter out of the red corner, Matt Big Wolf Golic.
And our next fight into the cage is going to be Matthew Big Bull Gawlik versus Devair Peterson at the 225-pound weight class. So more muscle to move around, bigger bodies at this point, Christian.
Yeah, Gawlik is a monster. I mean, this is his EFN debut, but plenty of hype behind him already. 2-0 in mixed martial arts, but get this, he has spent a combined 62 seconds inside the cage. He's had a 24-second TKO over Carlos Rodriguez, a 38-second TKO over Ernest Villa. This guy is an absolute killer. Heavy hands, fantastic killer instinct, a natural athlete, constantly growing and improving every time we see him. 2 fights into his career, according to Tapology, he's already the #3 ranked heavyweight in Illinois. That is saying something, Raj.
He represents Top Notch. Earlier in the night, we saw Fabian Serrano pick up the victory out of Top Notch. So they're looking good so far tonight with a 1-0 victory out of their gym. Gawlik certainly will look to make that 2-0.
Yeah, Top Notch is consistently putting out some of the best fighters in the area, dating back to, well, a fighter that we see running his own team tonight, Ricardo Lamas, of course, a Top Notch product himself. Now, you know, we see these new young guys, 19-year-old guys like Fabian Serrano, 22-year-old guys like Matt Gawlik that are ready to make their own mark on the scene. And, like, what better place to do it than EFN, where you're going to get these huge crowds, this electric atmosphere that we have here inside the Dean and Barbara White Center. But for Matt Gawlik, this is a big step up, not just in competition, but just the venue, the show, the entire product. We'll see if that, you know, makes a difference, if we see maybe a slightly more tentative fighter than we've seen in the past. A lot of questions are going to get answered here.
And now let's welcome to the cage, fight of the blue corner, Devair Blood Drip Peterson.
Blood Drip Peterson, no stranger to the Elite Fight Night, Christian.
No, this is EFN 22. We saw him at EFN 21 picking up a win over Armando Zamora. We saw him at EFN 20 gutting out a gritty win over Jacob Juska. He's clearly got everything you need to be a high-level heavyweight, to be a high-level light heavyweight. He's got heavy hands, great killer instinct. But one thing that stands out to me is his resiliency. As here we take a look at the tail of the tape.
Tail of the tape brought to you by El Popo Tortilla. You've got Gawlik from Winfield, Illinois against Peterson from LaPorte, Indiana. Gawlik with an inch on Devair Peterson, same weight. Both fighters coming in undefeated. This is a catch weight bout. Both fighters coming in undefeated. Something's got to give.
Yeah, somebody's O has got to go, as they like to say. But sorry, I had to hit you. I got to hit you with the cheesy
I haven't heard that
liner.
one before. I like it.
Oh, stop. Yes, you have. I was touching upon it earlier, the resiliency of Peterson. When he fought Jacob Juska, if you think back to EFN 20, he had some pretty difficult moments early on. He guts it out and picks up a rear naked choke finish later in the first round. That tells me a lot about a fighter. Not to say that it's easy to come out and pick up a quick knockout, but if you don't have to swim out of those deep waters, you don't necessarily know what you're going to have when you get there. Devair Peterson, despite never leaving the first round, he's already got to see that a little bit. So he's going to get a chance to kind of test himself a little bit farther against an absolute killer tonight in Matt Gawlik.
Peterson will get inspected here as we are set here at EFN 22 for another great bout. Matthew Big Bull Gawlik against Devair Blood Drip Peterson, who you see on your screen at this moment. So 225-pound weight class. Give us an idea, Christian, of kind of what we can expect to see in the overall style, regardless of fighter, but at this weight class, what do you tend to see?
You tend to see a lot of fights you don't want to blink for, my man. Like, these are the guys that are going to put somebody away with one quick shot, with what everything they throw has the ability to end the night for their opponent. They're big. They're not as big as the heavyweights, like I touched upon earlier. Sometimes you get a nice combination of speed and power. These guys, you're going to see that a little bit as well. You know, they're not 265 pounds trying to reserve their gas. They're going to throw hard. They're going to be relatively spry. We've seen both of these guys. Sorry, maybe not in the EFN cage against Golic, but we know that Devair's pretty quick for a big guy. So now we're going to get to see them throw some big hands here inside the cage. We're going to see how, how the chips fall.
Let's head up to the cage where Mike Vale has the call.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in the 225-pound weight division, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the El Popo Tortillas red corner. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, official weight 224.9 pounds. Representing Top Notch from Winfield, Illinois. Please welcome Matt Big Wolf Gawlik. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the Goji Resistance Apparel blue corner. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, official weight 225.2 pounds. Representing Maxim Gym from LaPorte, Indiana. Let's welcome Devair Blood Drip Peterson. Referee in charge, Skyler Slade.
All right, catchweight bout. Both fighters at 225.